I've been spending a lot of time with my family, and my family is extremely important to me. In the last 3 years, a lot has changed. Um, I think that I I realized how old I'm getting, and not that I am old, just that you realize your parents are getting older, you're getting older, and things are changing and becoming so different than they were just a few years ago when I was, in college, and then right before that, just being in high school. There's just so much has changed. Being like, having to deal with your parents getting sick, or realizing that you and your sister, my sister and I are very close, realizing that we're creating families separate from one another. And I think that that's probably been the most challenging for me, is just accepting that change that is a natural part of life that sometimes brings me down. I mean, particularly for me, I do so much with my parents. We work extremely closely. I made the money to start my business working alongside my parents in real estate. They literally taught me everything that they know, and they helped me acquire the knowledge and quite frankly understand an extremely important asset in life. And now we continue to work together, whether that be real estate or seeing SnoCorner grow to what it has become. And I think that I know the fear needs to be, I know I need to shake the fear. I just think that they are the people in life that I look up to more than anyone. So I think that doing these things that I'm going to continue doing for the rest of my life, I can't imagine doing that without them. And I've seen a lot of people just lose their parents young, or whatever be the case, and I'm just definitely not ready for that. My dad had open heart surgery last year, so it's just I think with that it just became just super real. And now he's ridiculous, and you would never know that he went through that, just because he's not a man that can sit still, or it's just me and my mom and my sister. So he's, there's so many girls in his life that I think that he can't slow down, because he's like, I have so much to do for them. And I think that in the way that I've seen him be so incredibly strong and hardworking, it doesn't give me a whole lot of time to have these type of conversations, because I'm like, if he can, be so strong, and my mom can be so strong for me and my sis, then I can do the same for him. Right after he came out of his open heart surgery, he was quite adamant about me getting my broker's license. And we had some family conversations about it, just me and my mom and my dad. And he was just like, I won't always be around, and it would it would be in good practice for you to, be able to work for yourself. You have the experience, why not do it? And I'm like, well, you're my broker. Why do I need to, and I think that, is those type of quick conversations, you just might miss it, are pinnacle moments of like showing you that, again, your parents are getting older. They're looking at you or to pass the torch, and not only just because you're capable, but because life is life, and you don't know how much time is left. You don't know. I think that I just feel sometimes the weight of so many things just all at once. The building has been in my family since 1971, 72. My grandparents are both from Louisiana, really small towns in Louisiana, and they purchased the building to run a real estate company from it. And they were really successful in real estate and bought a lot of property together when they were living. And then my mom ended up acquiring the building from my grandparents after they retired. And so I grew up in the shop. When my grandparents had it, I was in there when they were babysitting me. And then my mom started her mortgage company out of the same location. So I would be in there continuing throughout my high school career, which was right across the street from where the building is located. It's Long Beach Poly High School. We'd go over, my mom would get like us and all of our friends different like foods to eat for lunch. So we'd go off campus and hang out over there. And now the building is SnoCorner, where my business now runs and operates from. Owning a business, and I can't speak for everyone. So for me, owning my business, it's been challenging because you're doing everything for the first time. It's like becoming a contractor and navigating city laws and health codes and zoning and permitting, and then it's branding, and I went to school for accounting, so I'm doing mostly things outside of my wheelhouse. And I think that it's because you're doing so much for the first time, you never really feel extremely good at anything. It's just always learning something new. I wasn't even fearful. Honestly, I had always loved the culture of Louisiana, my background, my upbringing, my time in Louisiana, that I had this idea since I was young. I just didn't know how to do it. And I think at that moment when I really didn't have anything else that I felt I could do, that's when I was like, I'm gonna learn how to do this. And so when I pivoted in my career path, the main thing that I felt was going to be super important for my business was branding. And I really used to love drawing. Like I drew, I want to say up until college maybe, and I drew out like our little character. Marty is the name of like my logo or my character for my shop. And I think at the moment that I drew him out, I knew that like what I was going to do was going to be big for my city, big for my family, and like ultimately big for me. And my shop is doing so well. Yeah. I never felt like I made the wrong decision to switch from accounting to owning a New Orleans dessert shop, because I felt like it was going to be something that would continue to, no pun intended, feed me. I felt like it would feed me creatively. I felt like I would be able to use the skills that I did learn in accounting. I felt like I would feel close to my family, which has always been something that's been so important to me. I felt like it would be my outlet for everything that I was interested in my life. And it continues to be the source for me that honestly keeps me excited to reach the next level, no matter how long it takes. My dad, he's retired now, so he finds a lot of contentment in coming to the shop every morning and helping my team members set up the shop. That's like his every morning routine. We go to breakfast together every single Sunday morning. My parents are creatures of habit. They like grits, bacon, and eggs for breakfast. So we go to this spot in LA every Sunday morning and have breakfast together, whether that's just me, my mom, my dad. My sister, she's in college, or she's in medical school in Detroit. She's sometimes she comes into town. It'll be the four of us, or even my mom's sister and her husband, who actually grew up down the street from my dad in Louisiana growing up. He married my mom's sister. So, yeah, like my family is really, 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 really intertwined. They keep me happier than I think anything else could. I have been most rewarded in all of the things that I do when they come from a pure place. With accounting, I was interested in it. It was something that I did because I loved numbers. But it was really a love for it because of this love for my family. And with SnoCorner, there's just so many factors of love in my childhood or in the location of my shop, for the high school that I graduated from across the street, for the neighbors that look out for my shop. There's just so many pieces of it that light up my life that I think are hard to be missed if you come to the shop and you encounter any of us. My shop is a perfect example. So at SnoCorner, we're in Eastside Long Beach, and it's predominantly certain groups of people. And I realized in working from my shop that we're really not that different. We all come together for the enjoyment of cool things or great food, or, it's, and I think Long Beach is like, it is a magnificent place to be raised because you see it all. There is literally nothing you'll miss. It's incredible. It's like a wonderland of what the entire world looks like. Good, bad, beautiful, ugly, everything. Everything's there. And it's a perfect place to raise a family because you get it real young. So nothing really surprises you. You're ready for everything. One of my team members, they forgot to bring one of our menus in. Now we have menus that are huge, so that people, can see them. And he forgot it one day. And so in the morning, the following day, we came and the menu wasn't there. And we were like, oh man, somebody took our menu. They're have beautiful glass on it. They're framed well, things like that. So we were like, somebody got us for our menu. And so we were like, it's okay, roll with it. So maybe an hour into us opening, here comes someone walking down the street. Now, this is somebody that I hadn't personally met before. And so they were coming down the street carrying our big our big old menu. And they were like, last night we were outside walking the dog, something like that. And they were like, we noticed that y'all had left the menu outside. We took it home, and then, now we're bringing it back for you. So that was awesome. And there's so many more stories like that where just like the people in the community have really, really, really stood behind and protected the shop. Whether that be based on my efforts, my parents' efforts, or my grandparents' efforts, it is a community that is the reason that the shop is what it is. I think about those days so much. I remember another time when I was there for 6 hours by myself. We made like $40. And I think maybe 20 of those dollars were from my extended family. So it's like, seeing it become what it's become now, where people are, coming to the window like we drove from Corona, or we drove from wherever be the case, is really just amazing to see. And honestly, I might deserve some of the credit just for having the idea, but for the length at which it's grown, it was a group effort. It was from definitely my parents, definitely the late hours I had with my sister discussing the brand, my friends, Sam, Nico, everybody, literally, my team members that show up every day, they're super reliable. Just everyone pouring into this cup. And yeah, we just never had $40 days again. Owning a business for as long as you'll probably do it, at least as long as I've been doing it, it's doing something for the first time over and over again. And even today, this is my first time doing something like this. And I think that, when I communicated with you about coming here today, I was like, how do I prepare? And how do I, and you were just like, no, just, come with your thoughts. And I was nervous. And then I started reflecting on all the times I have had to do something for the first time. And I was like, nah, I got this. I got this. I absolutely am doing what I'm supposed to be doing, which is crazy that nobody else has asked me if I've ever considered if I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing. That's really never even once crossed my mind. And I realize, though, what a blessing that is to not question what I'm doing. That is something that I feel like a lot of people don't get to do. And it's something that I've experienced, just questioning if accounting was something I was supposed to do, questioning if real estate was something I was supposed to do. But in this, though, I've truly found my thing. And something that keeps me in high spirits, like you mentioned, is truly just being grateful for that fact. I think that, again, because the footprint of how my shop began down to the walls that surround it have so much importance to me and to my family, it's easy for me to be there. Even when in the beginning I began out and I was working on my business while also working in my business, it wasn't something that stressed me out because I felt like the walls that I was within were like hugging me and like helping me move forward. Like I feel every day that the presence of my family is felt and is there with me. Honestly, because family, like you said, is so important to me, I think that that is a big reason why the shop has come into the success that it has, because it's, for me and my family, so much more than just the product that we sell. It's about like continuing the legacy of my grandparents and my parents, who are truly the most amazing people I've ever met. They helped me so much with my shop. I honestly don't know what I would do without the support of my family behind me. Whether that be opening a new shop or catering trucks or whatever be the case, I think that I am finally at that point where I am able to physically grow the business. And I'm really excited for that, because it'll just be an extension of all this love that I already have for this business. And I think it'll just radiate to different members of my family, new experiences, different locations. I love exploring. So if I'm able to do that with this business, then I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. I'm really excited for that. At the end of the day, I'm lit because I get to go home and sit on my new couch and put my feet in my foot massager and read my book or watch my shows. And honestly, that makes me happy. Like, I think that for sure we go through like the periods where like, you know, there's certain things that like excite you, or sometimes it's more fun or outside or whatever be the case than others. But I think I know that the place that I'm at right now is like, at the end of the day, my feet just hurt. So I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna relax. And that makes me happy. Like going to the shop, being around my family, and then going home where I live by myself is cool. Like I don't feel unhappy in any way. Stressed out sometimes, sure, but unhappy, no.